Welcome to the Park City Market Talk webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide in Park City.
And I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the buyer consultant for the Wilstein team, and we're here to share with you our November 2014 Park City Market Talk webinar.
We have lots to cover, so we'll jump right into it. First of all, we want to tell you when the resorts here in Park City will be opening.
And then we're going to talk about the upgrades the resorts have done.
And then we'll give you our monthly market update. We'll let you know what's been selling and the prices both in town and out of town.
And then we're going to talk about the Vail factor and how it's affecting our Park City real estate market.
And finally, as we're entering into the ski season, we're going to take a look at the hottest neighborhoods, look at the supply and demand, and where the best buys are and where the activity's at. So we have a lot on our plate, and let's jump right into the schedule of the resorts opening.
All right, so Park City Mountain Resort is going to be opening first on Saturday, November 22nd. And then about a week later, Canyons is scheduled to open on that Friday, November 28th. And then about another week later, Deer Valley is scheduled to open December 6th. So we've been getting a good amount of snow. It's been cold, so the resorts have all been making a lot of snow. And we're expecting another storm here shortly.
So wax up those skis, get them ready, get those snowboards ready, and hop on the slopes as soon as you can. We want to share with you what's been happening with the resorts. At the beginning of every season, they do a certain amount of improvements. And let's talk about Deer Valley here. They invested another $6 million into improvements. And we'll just highlight a couple things here. I'll mention the first one. The new brass tag restaurant. It's always nice to get some new dining at Deer Valley.
And then they expanded Deer Valley's artisan cheese making facility at Silver Lake Village.
Then they remodeled their signature store on Main Street, and I haven't been in there yet, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
And they did enhance the mountain bike trail system this summer, so that was nice to see.
They also have added to their snowmaking system, and now they're pleased to report that 70% of the mountain is covered with snowmaking. This has been great as our temperatures have been very cold. So the mountain's going to open up with a lot of coverage.
Mm-hmm. Deer Valley also got 5 new snowcats, plus 1 beast groomer and 1 winch cat, along with 34 new Ski-Doo snowmobiles.
So those are the improvements at Deer Valley. When we shift over to the Park City Mountain Resort and to the canyons, we don't have as much to report to you right now on that. Of course, we've been reporting in the last couple months the legal dispute between Park City Mountain Resort and Talisker. That's all been resolved. Vail Resorts now owns the property, and they're going to have a board meeting on December 5th. And after that, they're anticipating a big announcement of a lot of capital improvements planned both at Park City Mountain Resort and Canyons.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to jump right into what's been happening in the Park City real estate market. There's been 1,311 sales in Park City over the past 12 months. Again, that's homes, condominiums, and vacant land. So we're down actually about 6% or 85 sales from the year before.
Now when we break that down into the major categories of homes, condominiums, and lots, you can see what's occurring here. Blue box or bars represent the previous year, 2013, and the last 12-month period is in red. We see a decrease of number of homes that have sold by 14% from 585 to 502. That's in part driven by the fact our inventory is simply reduced, less to buy. In the condominium market, their drop is a little more modest, 2% from 605 sales the year before to 591. And then the lot market is actually up by 6%, climbing from 206 sales to 218.
All right, and taking a closer look at home sales, we've broken them into the Park City city limits and then out in the Snyderville Basin area. Inside Park City, we're down 20%, from 202 sales down to 161 sales. Again, we attribute that to our low inventory of properties. And then in Snyderville Basin, we're also down 11% from 383 to 341 this last year.
We've also been reporting year over year a steady increase of a lot of sales. So this is a natural retracement. You can't keep climbing over and over and over again as we saw for many years. Mm-hmm. When we turn to condominiums, we also see a decline in the city limits and actually an increase in the Snyderville Basin. We're off by 5%, dropping from 361 sales of condominiums to 343. And then in the Snyderville Basin, we're actually up by 2%. It's a modest 4 extra condos, but that's what it works out to be, from climbing from 244 to the last 12 months, 248.
All right. Well, isn't this slide a different pace? This is our lot sales, and inside the city limits, we're down 31%. Again, just a lot of the land is being bought up, and there's not much land available inside the city limits. Look out in the Snyderville Basin, we're up 20% or 19% in terms of lot sales. So there's still land available in the county, and with our inventory of homes down, many people are turning to land and are building currently. So that's why we've seen the spike in land. And then inside the city limits, there's just so little land available.
Yep. It's nice to see that. It's nice to see new property being built. There'll be homes on them soon. Average time on the market is unchanged. 119 days. So we're looking at 3 months here. That's pretty good. Typically in a larger marketplace, a 6-month inventory is pretty standard, and in resorts it's usually 9 months. So we're seeing very quick sale pace here in the Park City market. Now let's take a look at what's been happening in terms of our prices.
All right, so this graph shows our year-over-year comparison of home median sold prices from that November 2013 through October 2014. So inside the Park City limits, even though our number of home sales were down, our prices are up 7%, from $1,216,250 to an even $1,003,000. And then in the Snyderville Basin, we're up 9%, from $707,500 to just shy of $770,000 as the median sold price. So again, number of sales are down, prices are continuing to rise.
But nice appreciation year over year. We're seeing a similar pattern here when we turn to condominiums. Within the Park City limits, the median price rose from $509,000 to $532,000, up 5%. A 6% increase is seen here in the Snyderville Basin, from the median price of $321,350 to $339,500. So prices going up there as well.
All right, and taking a look, at the lot median sold prices inside the city limits, no change. $550,000 is the median sold price. Out in Snyderville Basin, we're up 4%, from $300,000 to $311,750.
So that's what's been happening here in terms of number of sales and prices in the Park City real estate market. Now let's talk about the Vail factor.
Boom, boom, boom.
Now we've reported over the last several months a lot of details about the lawsuit between Talisker and the Park City Mountain Resort. That got resolved in September, and we've been watching very carefully the marketplace to see what impact having that resolution and that uncertainty behind us is having on the marketplace. So we want to spend some time talking about the Vail factor, if you will.
So with Vail Resorts taking over Park City Mountain Resort, we're looking forward to many improvements to the resorts, which in turn would be beneficial for the entire Park City community. So we will see how Vail does with that.
Now Vail, of course, paid $182.5 million to gain the control of the Park City Mountain Resort, and so they now control 2 of the 3 resorts in Park City. They're going to be making substantial investments into the resort, as they've done in the past at their other resorts. So we're looking forward to see exactly what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, and Vail's purchase of PCMR, it's really intended because Vail's going to connect Park City Mountain Resort and canyons for the 2015-2016 ski season to really create the largest single ski resort in the United States, and I believe it's North America, with 7,000 skiable acres. So great acquisition for Vail. They're going to connect it, lots of terrain, so we'll see what kind of visitor days that brings.
It's going to become one large resort, lots of skiing. Then, of course, the Vail Epic Pass that everybody loves because it is interchangeable with so many resorts that Vail owns and operates, has now added PCMR to that pass. So now you can ski at the Park City Mountain Resort and canyons on the same season pass for this current season that is just beginning right now. Everybody's very excited about that.
So what does this mean for the Park City real estate market?
That's what we really are wondering about here. I want to share with you some information that's provided by Rick Klein. He's a local mortgage broker with the private division of mortgage with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. And he's a statistical kind of wizard. And he provides us with some good information. I just want to highlight one of his slides here because he specifically wanted to zero in on what impact did Vail's announcement of their purchase have. What we're looking at here is we're looking at 3 bar graphs. First of all, the purple or lighter tone represents condominiums. The more maroon color is single-family homes, and then the top bar, kind of a light yellow, represents vacant land. What we're doing is we're looking back at October 2012 with the first columns going from left to right, then October 2013, 2014. What we want to see and focus our attention on, of course, is the increase from 2013 to 2014. Definitely an increase here, but the key thing that we want to focus in on is from September 12th, the announcement was made on September 11th, but from September 12th to the end of October, pending sales increased in Park City by 41% above that same period the year before, amounted to 87 units. Condominium pendings increased by 65%. So was there an impact? Sure seems like there was, that there's a lot of enthusiasm. And what I think has occurred, and Jeremy, you can weigh in on this, is that people who are maybe sitting on the fence deciding whether they wanted to pull the trigger on buying a property or Park City or not, that seemed to be the thing that pushed them and made them feel good about proceeding.
Yeah, there was a lot of condos and even single-family homes in the Old Town area or Canyons area, right near the resorts, that have been sitting on the market for a long while. And after that Vail announcement, buyers started stepping up and purchasing the property. So we've got, again, short inventory in these areas, and it's all getting bought up, kind of after this Vail announcement. So I think it was the mix between the uncertainty being over and then the strength and the reputation Vail has in other marketplaces.
That's right. So there does appear to be a Vail factor. Now, overall, we believe that the impact of Vail's decision and their purchase of PCMR gives confidence to the real estate market. Its increase is likely to continue and strengthen in the future, and buyers are stepping up now. They're buying properties in Park City, and we expect this will continue, particularly as we're going into the ski season. We get a lot of visitors coming to Park City. They like the experience, and the resort property management companies and the resorts are all reporting above last year's bookings. So we're expecting a good, strong season and a lot of snowmaking with the cold weather. I think it's going to be really good.
And as I alluded to, homes and condominiums near the base of PCMR and canyons are the properties that are most likely and that will be positively impacted by the Vail purchase of PCMR. And again, we've been seeing that already. There's homes and condominiums located in the residential neighborhoods, which I think will have an impact, but it's not going to be as great as being right close to the base of the mountain. Sellers sometimes hope it will, but I don't anticipate them having as big of an impact on pricing.
Yeah, I think that's true. So let's talk about the supply. This I think you'll find interesting because you'll see how much activity, how many sales are occurring, and where our limited supply is. And of course, the principle of supply and demand is very basic. As demand rises, supply falls and prices go up. When demand falls and supply increases, prices fall. Well, what's happening is the supply has definitely fallen off, the demand has risen, and prices are on their way up. But let's show you real specifically areas that are really making the impact, because in certain geographical areas and in certain property categories, we definitely have a limited supply of properties for sale.
Yeah, so we have highlighted a couple areas around Park City that we do have very limited homes for sale. First being Prospector, where I live, Park Meadows area, Sun Peak by the canyons, Silver Springs, this guy lives.
Mm-hmm.
Kimball Junction area, and we have Summit Park and Trailside, and these are all mostly residential, full-time resident neighborhoods.
Yes, and we've differentiated the neighborhoods within the city limits in green and the ones in the Snyderville Basin in blue. That's why the distinction. So let's look at each area and see what the inventory and the sales look like. In Prospector, currently we have 3 active listings, 0 pendings, and over the last 6 months, not a year, but 6 months, 15 sales. And I've included underneath the number of sales just the price range of the high and the low for each neighborhood for your information.
Then taking a look at Park Meadows, we do have 18 active listings with 13 pending transactions and 30 closed sales in 6 months. That is an incredible amount of closed sales in Park Meadows, and prices range from $790,000 on the low end up to $5.1 million, probably up in Eagle Point at the top of Park Meadows.
Mm-hmm. When we turn to the Snyderville Basin, the Sun Peak area by the canyons, there's 7 active listings, 2 pending transactions, but there's been 18 closed sales over the past 6 months.
Silver Springs, this area is the hottest area. Inventory is always so low. We only have 3 active listings, and 2 out of 3 are grossly overpriced. So we really have 1 active listing.
That's true.
There's currently 2 properties under contract. And look at that, 31 closed sales in the past 6 months with only 3 active listings. Price range from $505,000 to $1,150,000.
Those sales, that's fewer than 1 sale every week. So
Yeah,
lots
that's
of
amazing.
activity. Kimball Junction area, where as you get off Highway 80, there's 1 active listing, 1 pending transaction, 13 closed sales over the last 6 months. So certainly demand there as well.
And then taking a look at Summit Park, which is the first neighborhood when you're coming up from Salt Lake City, we've got 6 active listings, 5 under contract, 22 closed in the past 6 months. So again, pretty astounding numbers.
And then the Trailside Park area has 10 active listings, so at least there's a selection, 4 pending transactions, but they've had 29 closed sales over the past 6 months.
Look at that price range, $355,000 to $2.1 million.
We got everything for you there. Lots of variety.
Yes, this is one geographic location.
Yes, it is. Now let's take a look at condominiums. Within the city limits, the hottest neighborhoods with the limited supply is the Old Town / resort area. That's the historic Old Town, then coming up really up to the Park City Mountain Resort area, and then Park Meadows within the city limits.
And then we have the Canyons area, then Sun Peak, Kimball Junction, and Pine Brook. So some of these are repeats of the limited supply of homes.
That's right. In the Old Town area and resort area, 54 active listings. Well, that's a good selection. We like that. Of course, a big variety in prices from $123,000 all the way up to $2.3 million or $2,350,000. A lot of different product, a lot of different ranges. But look at that, 31 pending transactions, 71 sales in the past 6 months. So 54 active listings are good, but you look at between the pending and the closed, you got 100 transactions there.
And those 31 pending transactions, we're still in the time period of Vail made their announcement, and properties would still be under contract before they close. So I think that's Vail effect right there in front of you.
Yep. Park Meadows area has 9 active listings, 3 pending transactions, and 31 closed transactions in the past 6 months. Hot area.
And then Canyons area, we have 58 active listings, which there is a lot of real estate at the Canyons, and they have the opportunity to develop another big chunk of it. Mm-hmm. There's 12 pending transactions, 46 closed over the past 6 months. So again, a lot of sales out there.
Sun Peak area, which was one of the areas we highlighted with homes, also condominiums, 3 active listings, 11 pending transactions, and 14 closed sales over the past 6 months. A little tighter price point from $282,000 to $585,000.
And then Kimball Junction area, 18 active listings. Look at 41 pending transactions, 35 closed sales in the past 6 months. There's a new project that is online at Kimball Junction called New Park Terrace, and probably half of those pending transactions are from that new product. not even completed yet, and a lot of them are under contract.
Yep. And then the Pine Brook area, a lot of good activity there. That's more of a hillside community, but the condominiums are a little bit lower down on the hill. There's 8 active listings, 17 that are under contract with agreed upon deals, and 39 closed transactions over the past 6 months. So lots of activity.
Yeah.
Well, you can see from what we've presented here that we clearly have a limited supply of properties. Certain geographical areas have these limitations while the demand by buyers is increasing, and so it's a desire for deals to come together. As a result, we're seeing more multiple offers, and you need to be pretty shrewd in your negotiations to make sure that you beat out another buyer.
Mm-hmm. So if you are interested in learning the value of your property and what it's worth, you can contact Ron, this guy,
Yep.
and he'll provide you a free assessment of your property, and he gets no obligation, and he can head out there and give you a proper analysis.
Yes. All you have to do is give me a call at 800-535-0151 or send me an email. I'm happy to come out, and as Jeremy said, there's no obligation. Good information. A lot of people just like to know what's happening in their neighborhood, have no intentions of selling, and that's fine. We just want you to have good, valuable information. That's what we're all about. And if you have any other questions, we've got a whole team of people to call or email, starting with myself and Jeremy, but there's also Doug, who's a newest addition to our team. He's working with me and some of our seller clients, and then Dean and Ed. So we're here for you. We want to answer your questions.
All right. Well, thank you for participating in our webinar. Again, I'm Jeremy Wilstein.
And I'm Ron Wilstein.
And we'll be updating our Market Talk webinar on Tuesday, December 9th, for everybody to take a look at that one.
That's right. And if you're curious about other topics we've covered in the past, feel free to go to our website and look up under the webinar archives, and there's lots of good, valuable information. So from Park City, we want to send our greetings and have a good holiday. Come up here and enjoy the mountain.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.